So now we have another very eminent panelist with us today, this afternoon, and probably this morning, Mr. Parmesh Shah, who is a global lead from World Bank Group. He has joined us all the way from Washington, D.C. A very good morning to you, Shah sir, from all the way from New Delhi. How are you, sir?
I'm fine. Thanks, Dinesh.
So, sir, my question to you is that what role could National Rural Livelihood Mission and State Livelihood Mission supported by the World Bank play in developing countries like India for opportunities for developing for migrant laborers in India?
So, thanks, Dinesh. So, I think clearly the big institutional platform, an ecosystem of 350 million women, which have been set up under National Rural Livelihood Mission and state missions, really was the first responder in the COVID crisis. You will be surprised to know that already 190 million masks have been made by these women in decentralized units all over India, basically, and millions of liters of, you know, hand wash, sterilizers, all have been made by these women. PPE equipment, you name the product, and those products are made. And because they have the financial capacity, they all have savings of more than $2 billion. They are clients of the banking system, and they are having loans of $35 billion from all private sector and public sector commercial banks, microfinance institutions. They didn't wait for the government. They started doing a lot of things with their own resources. And they ran almost like 28,000 community food kitchens to supply food to the migrants which came back. But now coming back to what we require in terms of recovery is, I think, first thing which these missions are doing, they are doing a lot of counseling to all the migrants, basically, on what they should do. So I think apart from the digital resource, which is a very helpful thing, which Bihar, UP, Jharkhand all have built, and I am seeing data what is coming out of those places. Clearly, when you ask those people what you want to do, 40% want to do agriculture, 15% want to do animal husbandry, and rest of them want to do enterprises, self-employment, and all those things. So there is clearly a felt kind of they have some perception of what they could do. But I don't think we can go with a single strategy here. So I think this is a time, as Ashok also rightly said, is to create a micro enterprise ecosystem in our country, which allows these people not to go at only for the jobs, but have an option of creating a large scale incubation for micro enterprises. So I was talking to the Bihar mission yesterday, and they have now trying to create an incubator for 50,000 micro enterprises. And they're really doing and creating a mentorship architecture for that, involving a lot of other civil society organizations and EdTech incubators, all those startups to come and really create an ecosystem for micro enterprises. Second thing is apprenticeship. I think what we need is, I talked to also yesterday number of SMEs in Bihar, Jharkhand and all. They say they are starved human capital. All the human capital starts going to Gurgaon and southern areas. The SMEs don't have good quality human capital in this place. So you need to create an apprenticeship program to allow these people to work with SMEs. And we are talking about a stipend kind of a model, a new model of a rural apprenticeship program in which a lot of these people will then be able to work with SMEs to gain experience before they go into enterprise. Because you can't start an enterprise of your own. You need, the German model or the other models where you have a huge culture of apprenticeship which is built up there. So I think this is the time for India to invest in the apprenticeship and incubation in a big way. So I think these state missions will do that. Apart from that, I think we got a proposal yesterday from Intellicap, one of the advisory companies, to develop an Uber platform for all migrants, which will allow them to do job matching, job search, and negotiation, rating of employers and employees, and also transactions in terms of what Ashok was saying, that they are not able to save. And because the savings was so low, you are not able to do it. The second thing we are doing is we had funded a migration resource center in Gurgaon for all the migrants from Bihar in a public-private partnership model, where 15,000 migrants were provided end-to-end services in terms of counseling and all that. So we need these kinds of architecture now. And I think clearly the urban livelihood programs and rural livelihood programs have to work together. And I call this a new urban kind of programming. We need to realize that migration is going to happen. India is a country with largest internal migration in the world. Apart from China, I think India's internal migration is the highest in the world. But we don't have institutions and systems and to work with that. So I think Bihar government has decided to expand the Migration Resource Center model, which we had piloted now to about 100 locations all over the country. And I think this will be the first time when a state government will invest in something which is happening elsewhere. And this is what has not been thought, that spatially you have to look at the pattern of livelihoods and then design institutions related with that. So counseling, mentoring, coaching, and then incubation, entrepreneurship. I think we need to bring all these things together in a very different way and take a more urban kind of thinking, that it's not rural.